Hi, welcome to the fourth episode of Adjusting Your Heart. I'm AJusting, and I'm very happy to tell all of you that at the time of this recording, we already have 463 subscribers and more than 7,000 views. And I'd like to thank all of you for supporting us. And I hope that this video channel would indeed be able to help more people. As it is, our topic this afternoon is coping with depression. Last May 8, Bloomberg News came up with this headline. It says that the next COVID crisis could be a wave of suicide. It's because of the isolation, the anxiety. These are the breeding grounds for mental illness. And they are predicting that there's a possibility of 75,000 deaths connected to mental illness. So that's very sad. So I hope that this episode will be able to help more people cope with what's happening around. Because the financial strain, the working from home, it really adds on to a lot of stress, and that's very normal. It's also normal to feel sad when one of our loved ones is sick, especially with the COVID-19 virus, or somebody died, or somebody got laid off, have a pay cut, somebody lost their business. It's normal to feel sad and anxious. But there's a difference between feeling sad and what we call clinical depression. Clinical depression is prolonged, and along the way there will be self-harming, suicidal ideation, but only a psychiatrist can diagnose you with clinical depression. So sometimes when we Google, oh, I think I have depression. No, maybe you're just sad, maybe a little more than sad, but it's not clinical depression because only a psychiatrist can diagnose you with that. And clinical depression requires that you also take medication. So I'm gonna differentiate that from sadness versus clinical depression. But depression is one of the leading causes of suicide. And right now, there's around 1 million suicides every year. So that's very scary. Let me tell you the tragic story of Katie Stubblefield. Katie, as you can see from the picture, is a very lovely young woman. But sad to say, when her boyfriend broke up with her, she shot herself in the face. And the next picture would show you what her face looked like. But she survived. And you know what? She was able to get a full facial transplant. And this is how she looks right now. Very much different. And yet right now she treasures her life very much, and she is advocating to a lot of people that when you encounter problems, please do not ever attempt suicide. So today I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to be able to cope with sadness, or what we call depression. Number 1 is to let your feelings out. Don't keep it bottled up inside. If you need to cry, you cry. It's okay, even for the males. Sometimes in our society, people would say, big boys don't cry. But actually, did you know that when we went to the National Mental Health, the one touring us around told us that there are more males inside the National Mental Health. That's because most males tend to keep their feelings bottled up. They don't share. So it's okay, even for the males to cry, but if you don't like the stigma that people might call you weak, then it's okay to cry in the privacy of your bedroom, the bathroom. That's okay. And did you know that the shortest verse in the Bible is found in John 11:35? It says, Jesus wept. Why would Jesus allow such a short verse to be written down, or the mere fact that he cried? That's because he's giving the males to cry, because his best friend Lazarus died, so he was very sad. One way of letting our feelings out besides crying is talking to trusted friends. That really helps a lot. Somebody to validate our feelings when we're sad, and then we feel that somebody loved us, somebody to comfort us. So don't be hesitant to call up a good friend and a trusted one, okay? Another is writing in a journal. Helps a lot. Because your feelings, you could like, oh, I'm so sad, okay, I don't know why. Then you just write. You just let it all out. Okay. Another is to limit your feelings of sadness to only 15 minutes every day. It's okay to let out your feelings, but you have to limit it, because if you don't, let's say if you allow yourself to feel sadness the entire day, you won't be able to function, and that's not going to be good. So my first point is, do let your feelings out. My second point is, do something that you enjoy. Like whatever it is, because we have different personalities. Like some people would say, oh, if I'm sad, I eat, especially sweets. But okay, on the lighter note, please do not eat too much. Because if you eat too much and then you gain weight, and then you're very conscious of weight, you'll get depressed or sad. And then you'll eat all the more. So you're gonna get depressed again. So it's gonna be a vicious cycle. So just eat a little sweets, okay, or eat something that makes you happy, but not too much. So for some people, sleeping helps a lot. They just sleep off their problems. For some people, they will want to go shopping, go to the spa, to the parlor. Of course, these are quite limited in our time right now. But these are things that they enjoy. Some people, they enjoy playing sports, okay? They exercise, okay? It helps them. For some people, it's playing board games with other friends, surfing the net, watching TV, YouTube videos. That helps them. For some people, it will be gardening, baking, cooking, reading a book, traveling out, which we can hopefully, not now, but in the future, playing with pets. So there's so many things we can do. As long as when you do it, you feel happier, you feel lighter, then that's good. The third point is, do your regular routine. It means that I know that sometimes it's so hard, like you don't feel like eating, or you eat too much, but you eat moderately. You still have to eat. You still have to sleep, no matter how hard it is. You have to have enough sleep. Because if you don't sleep enough, then your immune system is lowered down. Then another way to increase those endorphins would be exercise. So you go back exercising. And if you need to go to school, go to work, you push yourself. Because you know what? If you don't do anything within the day, you'll get depressed all the more. Because you're not doing anything, thoughts, sadness, these will bother you. But if you're busy, then your time, okay, to be depressed or to be sad will be shortened. My fourth point would be, do connect with loved ones. In this time, it's so easy to feel isolated because we can't go out. It's so hard, especially for those who are 60 and above, for the younger people, it's so hard. Or for people who are forced to work from home. So why not connect with other people? Like for my relatives, we connect with each other through Viber. Even with my good friends, my high school friends, we're called the seasons friends. So like one of my friend is already in Singapore. So what we do is, during this lockdown, we started it. We start meeting up with each other through Zoom once a month, and that helps a lot. And of course, I have other groups of friends that I meet up through Viber, through Messenger. So please do so. And did you know that even for the older people, our church has Zoom meetings for them? If you look at those pictures, it's fun. The women's fellowship, they're wearing a Hawaiian dresses and they have lace. We can do that during when everything was normal. But now we can't. So you know what? We meet on Zoom every Thursday morning at 9:45 a.m. Or we have another alternative. We have what we call the Evergreen Fellowship. Because for the women's, of course, it's only for the women's. The Evergreen, okay, men and women can join. So they meet up over Zoom every Wednesday morning, 9:45. And you know what? You would see the elderlies from 60 to 90 plus, that whenever they join, they're so happy. Because they can talk to one another, they can encourage one another. So that's my fourth point. Do connect with loved ones. And MGC also have other M groups mentoring groups for various age groups, whether it's for kids, we have the church junior, we have one for the teens, for the young professionals, for the couples. So you can just go to our Facebook page, Makati Gospel Church, and check it out. And the fifth one is to draw strength from God. It helps to pray to God, to ask help from Him, to be able to read His Word. Because when you read His Word, you get comforted. Like you read verses like Psalm 46 verse 1. The Lord is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. And that comforts us a lot. And of course, listening to inspirational podcasts, YouTube videos also help, or reading inspirational books. So I'd like you to check out my good friend, Pastor Adrian Munoz's podcast. You can find that in his Facebook page, and it's very short, 5 minutes, but his messages are truly inspiring and helpful. But lastly, let's say after trying these 5 tips and you're still not feeling okay, and it's been quite a long time, and maybe you're already entertaining thoughts of suicide, please consult a psychiatrist, because medication could also help the chemical imbalance in your brain. And also, whenever suicidal thoughts come, please call a friend immediately or call the hotline of NCMH. It's being flashed, okay? You can call them. I've checked it out, and they're open 24 hours a day. So my 5 points for this coping with depression would be: do let your feelings out, do something you enjoy, do your regular routine, do connect with loved ones, and draw strength from God. And you can also check out our previous 2 videos wherein I talk about anxiety, because I've also given you some tips there, like think of possible solutions, okay? And the second episode would also talk about change your perspective, change the way you think. So check them out. So thank you. Again, please click on the like button, subscribe, and also the bell button so you will be notified the next time we post another video next Friday. Thank you.